What do you think? How such a large empire like the Mauryan Empire was flourishing despite the fact that Ashoka made huge donations to the Buddhist monks and monasteries, leaving the royal treasury empty? How was such a huge empire flourishing and getting its revenue? How was the revenue being generated? How were the revolts that were taking place being suppressed? Because you already know Ashoka took up non-violence. So how was he being able to suppress the revolts and see that there were no rebellions within his empire? What was the set punishment for certain crimes, for certain disobedience of laws? So as we proceed towards today's topic, we will get all these answers. Let us see. So the main way that the revenue was being generated for the Mauryan Empire was through the revenue department. So what was the function of this revenue department? The revenue department ensured the collection of taxes, customs and other dues. For what? So as to maintain the state treasury and also to provide people with the public amenities. Here you see there is a Mauryan silver Karshapana coin. And here you have coins from the Mauryan Koja or the treasury. Now, as we have the finance department in India, similarly we had a similar department named Samaharta in the Mauryan times, whose function was to collect the revenue that was being generated. Another department was the Sanidhata, whose function was to store and safeguard this wealth. Like today we have the Reserve Bank of India, which stores and safeguards our wealth. Similarly, the Mauryans also had the Sanidhata. Now there were different taxes which were levied upon the people so as to ensure that the revenue was being generated. The first among that is the bhaga or the land tax. Now what was this land tax? It demanded 1/6 of the agricultural produce along with the cattles, but it was not the same in all the regions. It was greater in regions which has more produce, so it would have been increased in more fertile areas which could produce more and hence pay greater taxes. The next tax that we have is bali or the religious taxes, and the last tax that we come is the shulka or the taxes that were charged on the import and the export of goods and their sale in the markets. The taxes were also charged on mines, forest and other areas. These taxes were collected both in kind and cash. So they ensured that they also take cash and they also take the things that were being produced in these regions. But can you tell me why such huge taxes were levied upon the people? Because Ashoka already made huge donations to generate the revenue so that it could meet the needs of the people. And also, as you see, that this is a centralized bureaucratic system, so it also had many government officials. So to pay the government officials also, these taxes were levied so that the taxes could be generated and the government officials could be paid and the public needs were also met properly. Now, the Mauryans were also engaged in trading. They also traded to many different places like Greece, like Sri Lanka, like China, and the main ports were the Tamralipti, Broch and Sopara. So here you see trading also involved places like Greece, Sri Lanka and China. And what were the items that were being traded? It was items like pearls, gems, precious stones, gold and diamonds. So these were the things that were being traded to different parts of the world. So you see the trade routes of the Mauryan Empire that extended till Athens and Antioch in Greece and Alexandria near Greece. This also extended till the region Tarim Basin in China and countries like Burma and Sri Lanka. So here you see Antiochus II of Syria, an ally of the Mauryan Empire. So this also establishes the fact that the Mauryans used to trade to different parts of the world. So as you already know, the Mauryan Empire extends over a huge landmass. But how was it possible? So there was a strong army that conquered different territories and brought it under the rule of the Mauryan Empire. But conquering the territories was not enough. They also had to make sure that there were no external attacks, no invasions or internal rebellions. The Mauryan military was divided into 6 divisions. What were these? Infantry, cavalry, chariots, elephants, military transportation and navy. Now, the soldiers were well equipped with the war weapons, and they were equipped with bows, arrows, swords, shields, and they were paid their salaries in cash. Now, there were many forts which were placed at strategic locations so as to ensure that there was no internal rebellions, and these forts were controlled by the Durgapals. So as you see this image, this is of the Uparkot fort. Where is it present? In Gujarat, and it was built during the Mauryan times. So this is one of the forts that was controlled by Durgapals. Now, you must be thinking, how were the criminals punished? How was justice ensured? So, the judicial system ensured the obedience to laws, that the people abided by the laws. And there were different dharmashthas who were the judges in the civil courts, that is the dharmashthyas, and the criminal courts were known as Kantaka Shodhanas. So these dharmashthas were the judges who made sure that there was no mischief in the empire. There were certain other officials too, like there was Rajuka, who was given the duty of calculation of the land revenue. Now these Rajuka were also given some judicial function, and the laws were strict and punishment was harsh. So now you see the Mauryan Empire was very particular about their justice being ensured, and they were very particular that people who were not abiding the law were given harsh punishments. So during the time of Ashoka, if any offender was found to do any mischief, his head would have been shaved off. Now you see how Ashoka had transformed from a very ruthless ruler to a very benevolent emperor. But what did this transformation had an impact on the administration? So you see, Ashoka's transformation had a great impact in transforming his administration. Criminal cases reduced greatly because he was preaching non-violence and was spreading the moral laws of Dhamma. So the criminal cases also greatly reduced, and the punishment aimed at making the offender understand his mistakes. The punishment was such that the offender would realize what mistake he has made. Now this is the extent of the Mauryan Empire. So you see how such a huge empire that extends not only throughout India but also the Indian subcontinent, that is the present day Pakistan and Afghanistan, till the southernmost portion of India. So you see how such a huge empire was being governed by the Mauryans, how they had the revenue generated, how the military made sure that they conquered the territories and there were no external attacks and no internal rebellions too. You also saw how the justice was ensured, how the people were very much particular that there was no mischief in the empire. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app and get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology, get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.